Hello! Today is an exciting day. We have a game review, not one of mine, uh, one of other people's. This is a game between two roughly 16Q-ish players played at a local tournament here in Seattle last month. Um, it's an exciting game story. There's lots of drama, intrigue, fighting, scandals, politics. It's like Game of Thrones, except two-dimensional. And as opposed to Game of Thrones, the characters in this are very black and white. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, we got a 5-4 point off the bat. Cool. And then approach here. Answer. And then this looks kind of like a mini Chinese type thing. Okay. Pretty cool. White approaches here, fine. And here, black plays elsewhere, which, this approach, I think it's completely fine to approach a different corner rather than respond immediately. But I think, I don't know, black certainly could respond in the lower left corner. Maybe with this attachment or this, because the right side is black's, so if we take a normal Joseki, something pretty simple like this, here black has two choices. Black can extend to lock down the base for the bottom left side around the corner, then white will jump and black can make a base. This sort of emphasizes the left side, so in this game black would probably want to choose this. And then it seems like these stones are working pretty well together for the center and the bottom right area of the center. Looks pretty good for black. So that's one way black could play, but nothing wrong with this approach. And pincer, okay, looks like we want to fight. But then black goes into the corner. And this is the first mistake. So this Hane is played not in the case when white plays this pincer. So this Hane is played instead when instead of this pincer at B, white has played the normal answer at A. So it would be like black approaches, white answers, black goes into the corner, white blocks, and then black would play this Hane. The reason black plays the Hane in this case is that if black pushes, then black pushes into bad shape. This is white gets Hane at the head of two stones, which is a classic. I don't know if that counts as a proverb, because it's sort of just a phrase, but Hane at the head of two stones is very painful for black, very nice for white. So black can still live, but black is completely enclosed, and white still has a cutting point on the outside, but it's not a trouble immediately. White could play elsewhere, because if black cuts, this is a good ladder/net problem for probably double-digit Q. I think single-digit Q and stronger would probably be able to solve this really quickly, but good problem here. So anyway, in the actual game, black plays this Hane, which is not the proper way. So white blocks, and then black pushes, and then with the... first I should show the normal, or the proper way. The proper way is black can extend, and then white can't Hane. This is a special case with this triangle stone here. This is black's way to punish. It seems like white should be able to go down to block, but then this cut is working to kill either A or B. If white extends to save the B stone, then black plays this, and the three stones are dead. And if if white plays something to help the three stones, then black can kill the one stone. So this is a very good result for black. I went quickly through that, but if you don't, if it's not, where was that? Aha. If it's not clear to you how A and B, how black can kill one or the other, I would definitely recommend setting this position up on your own Goban and working through the variations to see if you can find a way to save both. It will be challenging. Okay, so the proper way is white extends, and then black hanes, and then jumps. So this is the proper way that is pretty well often seen. This pattern gets played fairly often. I'd say maybe 1 out of every 3 Go games you'll see something like this. I can't back that up with any kind of statistics, so please don't hold me to that. But the difference is, in this case, with these exchanges here already in place, white can hane. So we could expect something like this, and if we compare this, oh, this is going to be tricky to find the right tree. This one? Yes! I got the right tree. If we compare this one to this one, we can see that white presses black down, so black gets less territory and white gets much better influence in the center. So this is a really successful variation for white. It almost looks like if we delete these 2 stones and then put this stone here. This is a pretty common shape that you might recognize, which arises when white just has the 4-4 stone and black plays the 3-3 immediately. And we know that that's usually a mistake in the opening because white's influence is considered more valuable than black's corner territory, at least in the early stages. So, but in the game, white just extends, and then black plays elsewhere, but this is a crushing mistake. Well, it's not like a game over mistake, but if I were white, I would immediately play e17, which is Sente to destroy, to completely kill black's corner. So black needs an answer. And now white can come back to the upper right. But these exchanges are really nice for white to lock down the upper side and completely seal black's corner in. So I would play those right away. And then, okay, so the upper right is settled, so white looks elsewhere. White plays this one, but this one in the lower left. First of all, I would prefer playing some sort of pincer. So white has this wall in the upper left, and it's radiating influence in this area. So playing a move from this stone anywhere on the bottom, I don't like so much because black can immediately reduce the influence of this wall. I prefer a pincer to continue building the center, which a pincer in this situation is really nice because it puts pressure on black's A stone, but it also serves as an extension from the B wall. So this is sort of a dual purpose move, and in Go, dual purpose moves are really good. Not as good as triple purpose moves, which are the best, other than, of course, quadruple purpose moves, which are, of course, like 10 times better than the best. And quintuple purpose moves, those are, if you find one of those, it's a lucky day. Okay, I don't think I can go any higher than quintuple, so I'll stop there. But this one, even if white is going to respond for the lower side, you might as well play the knight's move. Then the normal pattern would be this, maybe. Probably black wants to keep it a bit closer because white is really strong up here. But to play diagonal, it's it's a tight shape, but it's a bit too... Black responds here, and then I'm not sure... This exchange just makes black's shape really strong, and it doesn't really secure the bottom that much. I don't know. I haven't really seen this diagonal move before, so I'm not sure. White plays elsewhere, but that seems... Well, first of all, if white plays elsewhere, white should exchange this before playing here to make sure the top is sealed. But I think if white plays locally, white plays up here, I think black should maybe attach here. And then I don't see how... This looks kind of bad for white. White gets pressed down and doesn't have very good shape. Or... Actually, this it looks like white could Hane... so maybe black could play this first and then extend, and this A wall is a bit useless if black gets a solid stable group down there. Also, okay, black played this. I like this too, because this is trying to seal white in and have a good relationship with black stones on the right side. If black is able to, if we can imagine black got like one extra move here, then this A wall and the BC formation, they have a really nice synergy effect. In the whole bottom area looks like a good area for black to develop. Lots of potential. So after white takes the corner here, if I were black, I would probably just descend. Or maybe if black is worried about this cut, so maybe this would be another way. It fixes the cut, and if white tries to reduce the bottom, black makes really good shape while sealing white in. But this one, I don't like this, because if I were white, I would play here. Very good. And then black connects, and then white plays this. This has a number of problems, and if I were white, I would almost certainly play here. This extension is like maybe it looks a little bit slow, but it's really powerful, because not only does it secure the territory down here, for sure, it also threatens follow-ups at A to split off black's 4 stones, and B to slide and destroy black's bottom side territory. If you compare to black gets this Hane, then all of a sudden the A group is connected, the B area is like solid territory almost, and white's corner is cramped. So black played elsewhere, but I would play G3 in a heartbeat to coordinate the influence and seal off the bottom. G3, actually, now that I look at it, G3 is a really similar move to white playing E17, where white plays E17 and seals in black completely and builds the nice territory around A. G3 is really similar to build the territory around the bottom for black. This game is called the surrounding game, right? So moves like this to surround your opponent's group, those are really good ones to look out for. Still, black should probably play this. This is nice to reduce this area. Here it looks like black is trying to move this one stone, the A stone, at C14. But since white can push like this at any time, it's going to be a difficult fight. But white pushes here, and then, okay, black fixes. That's good. I think there's no need to push. If I were white, I would just jump to make sure that the A group and the B group are split. And then I'm not sure how to handle the A group for black. It looks like it's almost surrounded. But this push, I don't think it does much. Actually, if I were black, I think I would push through and cut immediately. And then, it looks like if white plays a move to help B, then black extends, and white can save this group, but black makes reasonably good shape, and it looks like white's big influence is going to be reduced. But the push there, okay. This Hane should definitely just be an extension. With the Hane, after black pushes, there's too many weaknesses here, too many cutting points. Black plays this one, but white should just connect, and then black needs to save the stone, white pushes out, and black can fix. So with this Atari, white makes solid territory around A and saves this group and the B group, and black's C group has reasonably good shape, so I would say it's fairly successful reduction of white's big area, but it could have maybe been better instead of this Atari to play this one and take the one stone. Then I'm sure that white will get almost no points in this upper side. And the B stones, if white plays another move to surround them, then black can reduce over here. Okay. Oh, whoops, I forgot one thing. Going back to this move, even this extension, not only should it be here to threaten A and B and solidify the corner, but if white is going to play in the C5, C6, C7 area, it should be a tighter move, I think. This jump leaves too many weaknesses. Black can push, Atari, and if white fixes, then this Atari, and can capture, and kind of totally shatter white's group. I mean, white will still be able to live in the corner, but black has like infinite strength now after killing the one stone. Okay, sorry, I forgot about that earlier, but white should connect and then connect here, and this is fine. But white gives the one stone away. I'm not quite sure why. And then this Atari should just be the extension. Counter Atari and connect. Okay. This looks like when I saw this move, I was really impressed because this does not look like a 16Q move. I think this is not the biggest area though. If I were black, I would still play this, or maybe in this case I would push and do this to kill the one stone. Still something over here is really big, but also solidifying this bottom right corner is really big because black has extensions on both sides. So if you lock down the corner like this, it's really difficult for white to find a good place to invade. Whereas with a move like this, white can still take this corner pretty easily in Sente. And if white takes the corner in Sente, we'll say something, normal pattern happens, then white can still come back and fix. So, and here black, this must just be a misread. It should be here to save the two stones. After this, white can just play this to capture the two stones cleanly. And here, black realized and fixed. White jumps out. I don't necessarily agree with this, though. Black should help these four stones, and then white can cover, black can connect. yeah, white can cover, and then black can't play elsewhere because if white gets to push down and cut, it looks like this black's A group is going to die, maybe? It's a bit difficult, but it looks like it's completely surrounded, so that's why black needs an answer here at K17. But moving this stone out, this triangle stone at O14, all it does is it kind of forced black to make solid territory at A and B, both of these areas. And how many points does white make with O14? It doesn't really make any points. It looks almost like it's dame, or a neutral point. So rather than jump out like that, maybe I would push to force black to seal it in. Or maybe just leave it alone. It looks like you could invade here to make these stones weak, and then after black captures, then follow up here to destroy the right side or invade. But basically, my thought is that these two stones, O16 and P16, are fairly worthless at this point. Because black has stable groups on both sides, A and B, and if you run them out, it's difficult to make points. Like, compare the two stones at A with the two stones at B. The A stones for white don't really do anything. They're kind of a liability. But the two stones at B, they like radiate influence in this area, and it looks like they're making you know, at least 15 points in this area here, maybe even more, and it also threatens to jump and reduce the right. So these two stones, the B stones, are really nice. The A stones are kind of useless, so we can, after black does this to fix them, I think we can just sacrifice them. But jumping out, black plays from this side, but I think that's a mistake because now these black stones are going to start to be surrounded. White jumps, black wedges, but it doesn't work. So here, white plays this, but this is a big mistake. White should play here to surround the A group and capture it, and this is clearly a great result for white. But this one, I guess white was maybe hallucinating that black could play here and capture these three stones, but white can play this to kill the one stone. Probably just a mistake, liberty counting mistake. Black attached here, but this is, it should be this jump, I think. The idea is if it looks like white might be able to save the 4 stones this way. There's still a throw-in ko to save them, but black would probably want to get some co-threats first. So black could play this way to take Panuki for the right side, give the 4 stones, and then solidify the corner. And it looks like, you know, this right side is really big, and the bottom can be really big too, especially if black gets G3. So that's one way to play. I guess if black really wants to keep fighting, then black can still disattach. Oh, this is good for white. Maybe here? It's possible to connect out. Oh wait. Have to Atari. It might be possible to connect out, but it looks pretty difficult. So the big problem was playing from this side, this diagonal move. Instead, black should have helped the 4 stones to make a base, because still white needs another move in this area. If white plays somewhere else, then black can push and cleanly capture the 3 stones. Or play the diagonal move or whatever. So, okay. But black plays this, white cut, but I think this Hane is working to capture the group. If black descends, white can keep blocking, and then this should kill. White should be ahead. If black blocks, then Atari, and black dies. What else? If black just plays here directly, then Atari. So 3 liberties, and then it's oh wait, that doesn't work. This Atari, and then here. Right, okay. So even if black captures, still 2 liberties. We have 1, 2, 3 liberties here. 1, 2, 3 liberties here, but black only has 2 liberties, so white wins. So another choice would be this Hane, but then Atari and push. Atari and okay, so no chance. So this Hane would be really big. This is kind of a big mistake to play elsewhere. If I were black after this, I would just extend right away. But okay. This extension, it's pretty big. It's really powerful to reduce black's bottom and to enlarge white's left side. But black gets a chance to come back and play this to save the group and kill white's 7 stones? Yeah. So black takes a big profit, and the pressure is now on white to make this A stone work. So if you compare the difference in points, for example, if white plays this to kill these 5 stones and save this must be a difference of at least 40 points, right? Because white takes just 10 from the captured area plus, I don't know, another 7 or 8 points here. And if we compare to the actual game where black takes those points and kills the white 7 stones, it's a big difference. So white plays here, sweet, to try to keep building the left side, which does look like it can become really big here. And block. This cut. If I were white, okay, I would answer. But then black plays here, which is not too big. All it does is capture this 1 stone. So if I were white in this case, I would play this Atari and extend. You can give up this 1 stone, it's pretty small. But with these extensions, it looks like white is going to expect a really big territory in this A area, and B is rock solid. So after this, white responded, I would say, okay, come back and take the ko. Because if white captures this, it's only a couple points. A couple points difference. So, this L15 is pretty small in this stage of the game. White cuts here, but I don't really understand. This looks like an overplay. Black captures, white finishes the ko, and then black plays this Atari, but I think black can push out this way and fight. I think that these 2 white stones are much weaker than either black's A or B group. difficult. But this might become a crisis situation, a very difficult fight. So maybe black figures, okay, I've got the big territory up here, so I can, I don't need to make the game complicated. I'll just give away 4 stones. But then this one, if sacrifice is the goal, then I would just push to keep this this wall strong, and then maybe jump to reduce the big area, or still come back and solidify the corner down here. But this one, this just damages black's wall because these black stones are dead. They're captured. So unless it comes down to liberties, right? So black has 2 liberties and white has 3. Oops. Black has 2, and this white group has 3. So white needs to always have more than 2 liberties. But all of this pushing, all this did was destroy black's potential in the bottom area. If instead black plays this Atari and then fixes the corner, then this wall is solid. This wall at A is solid. There's no defect in it. Even if white captures, black can just connect. Compared to the actual game, where white pushes through like this, it's really painful. Black could have had a really nice potential in the bottom center area, but instead black pushed white directly through it. It's sort of destroyed. This is another fascinating move. It looks like a really cool Tesuji, maybe, but in this case it's not that good because this push is Sente to save the A group. So it makes this B stone weaker because it completely separates it from the C stones. And it also threatens to save this A group. Maybe this is a cool little squeeze spiral ladder problem where if black answers maybe over here to help this center group, then white can play, what's the best form? This Atari, and black fixes, double Atari, capture, and then here. So black can't connect because it's Dame Zumari, a shortage of liberties, self Atari, and if black captures this stone, then white will save the group. And still black needs an answer here, because if black again plays somewhere else, then it looks like this would be killing black's R15 group. Or maybe not. It looks like black could maybe do this to live, but pretty painful. Okay. So, but instead white plays this Hane. Peep, push. And then here, this is really difficult for any double-digit queue, even single-digit queue, even, I don't know, Don-level players. I don't know. It's not clear, but I think this cut is working to separate the A group from the B group. If black plays, it looks a bit strange because it invites this double Atari, but white will save the important stone. If black captures, then this clearly just kills the black stones. So, if black plays, well, if black plays anything else, even this would still Atari and kill. So if black plays this maybe, then it looks like white can jump. And white can give away these 3 stones, but kill this black group, which is much, much bigger, for example. So the other option for black is to Atari this way and push out, So this would be a pretty difficult fight, I think. But I'm pretty confident if I were white that I could kill this group. It looks like there's one eye for sure at this captured stone, but white is so strong in this area. It seems like, I don't know, white can play anything. And really difficult to make space for another eye. But white just extends, okay. And keep running this group out to destroy black's area. Maybe instead of this, still white can consider playing the 3-3 to take the corner. I think in this case it would be really big. Because if we go through the normal pattern, this wall is, black's wall is almost useless because can't make any points with, white can still push through here or jump here, and white gets about 10 points in Sente. This looks pretty good for white. Just moving out directly, it's okay, but a little bit slow. Because this move doesn't make any points for white, whereas this one makes about 10 points in the corner for white. So both of them reduce black's territory, but this corner invasion also makes territory for white. So it's like a double benefit. You destroy your opponent's territory and you make your own. This attach, I would probably just play this tiger mouth to split the bottom. But black pushes. I mean white just pushes up here, and then finally black gets this, which is really big point, because white still at any time could be pushing through here to look to kill the two A stones. So this is like a big double Sente point. But black got it. So white responded here, but that's bad shape. There's some proverb about playing at the center of 3 stones, meaning these 3 stones, whoops, then the vital point is here. It's sort of like if white, when black plays here, it's sort of like eye stealing Tesuji, like if it were black's turn right now. Let's say white passes. It makes this a false eye, kind of. Threatens this immediately, so. And also this is just good shape to net the one stone, the one black stone. But after this we can see the shape becomes really painful. White gets squeezed into a big blob. Okay. Here's another. White should just push to keep the liberties tight. This diagonal, it looks like it's more active in terms of threatening this jump, but it's actually worse. It's less active. This one is a lot more severe because it reduces the liberties on the C stones, the 2 stones here, from 4 to 3. So that means that if black responds for A, then this one works like this. White can break through and destroy those 2 stones. So black would probably have to. Black is going to lose something, basically, if black tries to do that. Probably black should back off here. But then the corner is surrounded. So the other option is black blocks here, and then white can slide and destroy the bottom territory. And actually, the life and death of these black stones is not completely clear. Looks like black should play an additional move. If black plays, I don't know, somewhere else, then this looks like a vital point to cut those stones. to connect here, then white can push, and there's not enough eye space on the bottom. So it looks like black would die. But this diagonal leaves weaknesses, especially after this diagonal. White pushes through here and Hanes, but this is sort of like a double peep because it threatens to cut both at A and at B. So white needs to connect here, but then black is able to cut these two stones, which in the end game like this is really big. But white does get this push, and black Hanes. This is... So whenever I have two stones like this on the second line, and my opponent Hanes, I always become suspicious. The suspicion is, can I cut immediately? Because black can't kill the two stones with one move, or like one combination. So this cut always immediately threatens to kill this one stone. And in a lot of cases, such as this one, not only does it threaten to kill this one stone at A, but it also threatens to do something with the B stones, or even the C stones. And in this case, the cut is really painful for black. If black saves this, then white can kill the one stone, and this is a pretty big reduction. And if black saves the one stone here, then I'm not sure which would be bigger, but white can play this Atari, and black can't connect because it's self-Atari. So black would have to just give it. Alternatively, this one, maybe this one is more valuable. White can play this Atari and kill these two stones, which also destroys this area. So that would be pretty big compared to the white missed it in the actual game and just played this connection, which is not necessary. So black got a chance to fix. Block, endgame, okay. And then there's two endgame points I want to look at that are very similar. Both are white plays a first line Hane like this, and black blocks it immediately. And this is another situation where if I'm white, I always become immediately suspicious of, can I cut at A? Especially in this case, when white has this B stone already, then almost always this cut is possible because it's a ko, right? At best, it's a ko for black. There are some cases where, like, let's say, let's give black some extra stones. I don't know. If it's like this, then obviously black can block no problem because this would just be self-Atari. And some other cases it doesn't work, but always you should consider, does this work? And in this case, it definitely does. This becomes, it can become a crisis. If black tries to fight the ko, then black's in for a rude surprise after this move. Black can't play A, this Q14, because it would be self-Atari. So, also, black can't connect and finish the ko because T13 would kill the whole chain of black stones. In so doing, and in doing so would revive all of the white stones. So it means that black has to extend here, and then this ko becomes... this is even better than a picnic ko. It is a picnic ko where like white risks almost nothing and black has a huge burden. But this is better than a picnic ko. This is... what's better than a picnic? This is like like a Disney World ko, or what's better than Disney World? A Las Vegas ko? Hawaii ko. Hawaii, yes. Everyone loves Hawaii. Or Ibiza or something. But yeah, anyway, it turns into a real ko where black has a huge risk because if white kills this, then the B group is revived. That's again, that's got to be at least 30 points damage. So after white cuts here, black's best response is to just connect the 4 stones out and give away this 1 stone. So it's a small reduction. It's not too bad. It looks like black lost about 5 points in this area. So instead of this first line block, black should play here. Then if white pushes again, then black's shape is a lot better and there's no cut. But white missed it and just connected, so black fixed. And then this one, here. And here again, black blocked at 019, but this is a game-losing mistake because of this, Atari. If black captures, then white can push down again, and black can't connect. So if black just fixes here, then still this is Atari, and white is able to revive these stones, which is crushing. Especially because the game was very close at this point. I believe that, well, we're almost at the end, so yeah. So the moral of the story is, when you play a first line Hane and your opponent blocks it, always check to see if you can, if this double Atari works, or sometimes this is even a better move. In this case, the double Atari is worse because if black captures, it's the same, but black should realize, oh no, I'm about to let all these stones come back to life, so black gets a chance to play here and then save the top. So still, it's another about 5 points damage on the top, but white missed it and black fixed, and then the end game happens. And so I was told that in the actual game, this ko became a thing, but the game record ends here. But in the tournament game, this ko started becoming actually fought, and black played this ko threat, and white missed it, and white finished the ko, and black captured. So that clearly ends the game in black's favor. But I think, what does score estimates say? I think it was pretty close. Yeah, it looks like black is ahead by about 7. So, pretty close game. So, maybe this is a good example of how endgame can be really, really valuable, because if white had played this, and then, I don't remember what else happened. Black takes some endgame point, and even if white only gets this one, these 2 reductions, each one is about 5 points. Just those 2 reductions are enough to win the game for white. Yeah, so endgame. If you like math, I guess in normal circumstances, if I utter the phrase, if you like math, I normally assume that people are going to laugh at me. But I guess maybe if I'm talking to Go players, it's more likely that people will like math. So if you like math, then I highly recommend studying endgame, because I really like it in terms of like calculating. Okay, like this sequence on the left side is 2 points, but it's reverse sente, so it's worth more, because if it's black's turn, black can play this, and it's sente for black, white has to connect. So that means that white getting this is worth extra, because you're denying your opponent a sente move. I like calculating the points and comparing the values of different moves. For example, sorry, this is so the game. I guess the game review's over, but I just want to show one quick off-topic thing that I thought was really fascinating. So let's assume that in the A area it's solid black territory and the B area is solid white territory. So this is endgame, everything is decided. Then the question is, how valuable is the move C or D for either player? Like, how many points is it worth? This is the answer. When I first heard this, I was like, I think it was 1 Dan or 2 Dan, and the answer shocked me because I look at it and I think, okay, black plays Lehane and Link. I don't know. That looks like black reduces white by what, 1 point? So this whole thing, I don't know, it's worth like 2 points maybe. But the answer is much higher than 2 points, and maybe I'll do an endgame thing later. But if you don't know the answer, I would suggest looking at it and trying to figure it out, and maybe leave a comment if you have a guess, and then I can tell you if you're right or wrong. But the answer might shock you if you're not sure. It's not quite 100 points. It's not quite that shocking, but it's more than 10, to give you a little hint. Okay, so the quick, oops, what happened? The game is happening, but all these stones are here. I destroyed this file. Okay. Oh no, they're here permanently. Okay. Well, I totally destroyed this game file, but normally I like to do a little recap, but it looks this game looks really weird with these 2 huge walls in the center. That'd be an interesting way to play. Okay, so luckily that was at the end of the review. I don't have much else to say. So yeah, the big points were the upper left corner. This extension was really big, this push, because if black doesn't play it, then white can seal in the corner in Sente. And same down here, there was a mistake where black could seal in white's corner. And some smaller things. So yeah, I could do normally I like to go through and do a little highlights, like look at the big areas again, but I don't know how to get rid of these stones in the center. So I need to work on that, work on my C Goban editing skills for next time. But yeah, if you have any comments or questions, I know I didn't hit everything in this game. There were some things that I thought were too nuanced to go over, so I tried to just hit the big points in this and show a few variations. But if you have any comments or questions, if I messed up something horribly, or if you saw something really important that I didn't point out, please leave a comment, and I would be happy to hear from you. And thanks for watching.